During a musical career which has spanned nearly 6 decades and survived numerous changes in the public's musical tastes, the banjoist known to the world as Mr. Smooth, San Francisco's Dave Marty, remains at the top of his profession. Amidst the popular music melting pot of the early 1950s, which included pop, folk, and emerging rock and roll styles, in 1952, Dave Marty chose to play the music of the 1920s and 30s on the ukulele to, in his words, become popular. Having been strongly influenced by his mother's piano playing, Marty, with his innate musical abilities evident, soon found himself entertaining at parties and events. Having mastered the ukulele, Dave wanted to progress to something bigger. While he envisioned a guitar, a 16th birthday gift of a banjo would set the course for Dave's immediate musical future. While his first banjo efforts often found him retreating to the ukulele, a 1959 radio broadcast featuring banjoist Eddie Peabody cemented the vision of a musical path which Dave Marty would be taking for the next half-century. As a young banjo player with boundless energy, Dave's timing to take his place in the post-World War II nostalgia boom could not have been better. In the early 1960s, he segued from his first professional engagement at Me and Ed's Pizza Parlor to popular Bay Area night spots with roaring 20-sounding names like Big Al's Gas House and 23 Skidoo. All of these experiences prepared Marty for the next major step in his banjo career, the Red Garter. As the original banjo nightclub, San Francisco's Red Garter had become an international entertainment destination. While the raucous multi-banjo renditions of 1920s sing-along tunes being played at breakneck tempos were contrary to the more melodic and subdued style of playing which Dave had come to embrace, being part of the Red Garter phenomenon in the mid-1960s, which ultimately saw him performing at Red Garter clubs in Chicago, New Orleans, New York, Hollywood, San Francisco, Florence, Italy, and the New York World's Fair, was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. During many of the countless nights in which he banged away on his banjo in a band setting, Dave envisioned himself as a banjo solo artist a la Eddie Peabody, even having a series of portraits taken by the legendary show business photographer Maurice Seymour. By the late 1960s, opportunities for performers were opening up in the cruise ship industry, and Dave committed the necessary effort and expense to become one of the first banjo solo acts to be featured on luxury ocean liners. While band work in the banjo parlors remained abundant, utilizing his newly developed solo abilities, in 1970, Dave began a memorable 8-year run as the featured solo performer at the legendary Earthquake Magoons nightclub in San Francisco. While many professions have those who moonlight at second jobs during evening hours, in the 1970s, Dave Marty daylighted at San Francisco's Union Square with a popular group of street performers known as the San Francisco Medicine Ball Band. He also favored national attention with a memorable appearance on The Gong Show, in which he played the William Tell Overture on the banjo while blindfolded.
What do you think of Dave Marty?
Hey, if the banjo act ever comes back, Dave will bring it. They're back. It'll be a 10. I like it.
All right, 10. That's a good score. Jamie Farr.
Hi-ho, Dave!
Another 10. J.P. Morgan.
Jamie broke my pelvis.
10, 30 points, Dave. That's as good as it gets.
In the 1970s, Dave began what has become a decades-long support of the banjo enthusiast community. While countless others followed, Dave fondly recalls those first California Banjo Spectacular shows, which were held at the Hollywood Palladium and featured artists such as a young Scotty Plummer, as well as the man who had become a mentor to Dave, Eddie Peabody himself. By 1980, even the most venerable banjo palaces such as the Red Garter were all but a memory. In response, Dave formed and performed with numerous groups before returning to sea aboard the cruise ships of the Royal Viking Line, where he could be seen doing his solo act for the following 8 years. During breaks in the hectic travel schedule which took him and his banjo literally around the world, Dave made numerous recordings and also found himself touring as the opening act for legendary comic Maury Amsterdam. While the San Francisco live music scene had changed dramatically by the 1990s, California had and maintains a higher than average interest in traditional jazz styles. As such, Dave Marty remains an in-demand performer in the Bay Area nightclub, theater, and festival scene. Additionally, with his complex harmonic vision and incredibly smooth and listenable banjo style, Dave has been a favorite headliner at recent banjo events such as FIGA, the Early Spring Banjo Fling, the Allenbury, Pennsylvania Banjo Fest, and the 2010 Arizona Banjo Blast. Throughout the correspondence that the pair kept up during the 1960s, Eddie Peabody regularly offered Dave words of advice. While the counsel was plentiful and wise, 2 of Peabody's words from a 1963 letter seem to have guided Dave more than all the others. Perfect yourself. Through decades of dedication, gaining the reputation of a world-class banjo artist as well as a master showman along the way, Dave Marty has evolved into a contemporary banjo artist who, to paraphrase Mr. Peabody, has perfected himself to the delight of banjo fans around the world.